Corruption, an Angelica Dale mystery. Prologue. The dark truck pulled up and parked a block away from the target. The tinted windows were cracked open and the radio was quiet. With their eyes scanning the streets and nearby houses, the occupants silently donned their balaclavas and gloves. They did not speak, but the driver gestured to the others and they exited the truck, closing the doors noiselessly. The two-story old-style Tudor home was their destination, their contact having recently informed them that the owners hadn't been seen for days. They moved steadily towards the backyard, squeezing through a hole in the fence, and they easily found the cellar stairs, though they were covered in grass and weeds that had pushed up through the cracks in the foundation. The largest of the boys reached down and shifted the broken door on the left, and with a groan it began to open. The old wood began to crumble, and the second boy moved quickly to assist before the door completely disintegrated and the ensuing noise alerted the nearby neighbors. Together, the two boys wedged the doors open enough for them and their companion to gain access. Pausing, they gathered together near a foundation pole as the smallest and least experienced of the boys removed his cell phone and activated the flashlight. Scanning the dark corners, the beam finally settled on the door that led to the lower level of the house. After reaching the top of the stairs, one of the boys motioned to the owner of the cell phone to extinguish the light so it would not be visible in the window. It was here they separated to complete their individual tasks. After pocketing his cell phone, the young one opened the first door and began grabbing the small electronics. Moving towards a work table, he closed an open laptop and disconnected its plug, shoving both into his backpack. A second later, a tablet quickly followed. He grabbed some gadgets he could not quite identify and dumped a small tray with flash drives, Bluetooths, and keychains into his bag. He exited the room, pausing in the hallway until he heard the faint rustlings of his companions. Assured they had not abandoned him, he glanced to his left and reached for the next door. The door opened with a bit of a creak, and the young man was immediately met with a strange, sickening, metallic smell, with a touch of urine and feces. The shadowy glare from the hallway provided enough light to see that it was a small bedroom with a full-size bed. A small writing desk and chair were pushed up to the wall on one side of the room. The other side consisted mainly of shuttered windows with the dark curtains drawn closed. He would risk the light. Shining it around to the other side of the room, he nearly dropped the phone when the beam settled on a pair of open eyes blankly staring back at him. The man, because after mustering the courage to look again, that is what he discovered it was, stared back at him unseeing with eyes clouded over. His body sat in an overstuffed reading chair in another corner of the room. It was in every fiber of his being to turn and run, but just as he was about to make a quick exit, he noted a small slim case on the floor next to the man's feet. He ventured close enough to the body to slide the case closer, grabbed it with two fingers as if it were contaminated, and shoved most of it into his bag. He closed the door and went in search of his companions. "You ready?" the ringleader asked. The other boys both nodded, but the younger one's nervous twitching and fidgeting caught the older boy's attention. "What's wrong with you?" "Nothing," he whispered sullenly, dropping his head. "I just want to get out of here. It's creepy." "You're such a baby," the other boy sneered. "Did you get anything? Or have you just been standing in there pissing your pants this whole time?" "I got some computer stuff," the young boy responded, jumping to his own defense. Before the other boy could respond in kind, the oldest boy held up his fist to silence them. "Shut it, you two! We don't have time for this. Let's go." They made their way through the house, down the stairs, and into the cellar, exiting the house the same way they came in. Pausing at the property line, they waited while a car passed and slowly made their way to their truck. The engine roared to life in the surrounding silence, and they drove off unceremoniously into the night.